Hello! Welcome to Fun with Flags! Oh no, just kidding. It's the Survivor 38 season preview. So, I just want to go ahead and welcome you guys here to the season. I know we're a little bit late. Got tied up with a lot of other things going on. Wanted to get this out a lot sooner than we did. By the time we watch this season, probably is already even, the first episode's probably already even aired. But we wanted to get started and go over the cast preview, give you guys a little taste of who's going to be on the season, who's, who we think is going to be good, who we think is going to be bad. Spoiler, not a lot of good. But we'll see what happens. So we're going to dive in here. A couple quick things before we get started. I wanted to, first of all, remind you to follow me on Twitter, at YoGrabAGabba. You can, please, also, before we get too far in the season, I don't want anybody to miss anything, all the great content we're going to have this season. Please subscribe. Subscribe to our channel right there. You can email us at pavementroadproductions@gmail.com and like our Facebook page at Pavement Road Productions on Facebook. So I'm definitely really looking forward to this. Definitely, if we are looking for all season guests who want to come on the show or just call in, be a part of it. Let us know what you think. Feel free to comment and email. And if you want to be on the show, definitely let us know. Find out, reach out to us, Twitter, Facebook, email, right on the channel. We want to hear from you guys as much as possible. So let's get started here. I'm going to bring in my co-host who's here to help me out as always. The way better half of me. And I'll bring her in here. Miss Jessica Tarasik, come on in.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, welcome. So, we just got done going over the cast. Just to give you guys a brief what we're looking at today. We went over the CBS.com bios. We went over the EW Canada cast preview. And we also went over what Jeff was talking about for the season. So, just before we get into all the cast, briefly, let's go over what the season is going to entail. Because it looks like it's going to be another really interesting idea. I'm hesitant about the idea because it reminds me a lot of Survivor Redemption Island, which is not anybody's favorite season, I don't think. So, except for maybe the winners of those seasons. But overall, not a great couple seasons. So we're fearful that it's gonna be like that. Jeff Probst says, Edge of Extinction. You vote out. You have a choice to stay in the game, or fight for a chance to get back in the game, or leave the game. Sounds like Redemption Island to me. I don't know about that. I'm kind of worried about it, but hopefully it's gonna be better than that. What do you think?
I think it sounds interesting. I really want to know what they're going to have to be doing on the island, but
we'll see what happens. I know they had previously on Pearl Island, they had the Outcast twist. People got voted out, and they came back, got to compete in a challenge, and the winners of the challenge got to come back in. It was similar to the Redemption Island type of thing. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to keep an open mind about it. Hopefully they learn from Redemption Island, or maybe Jeff Probst is so blinded by his love for Boston Rob that he's just going to redo it again. I don't know.
Maybe they'll build fires every time. That's how they're going to get back in.
Certainly could be something like that.
Favorite.
I don't like that, but we'll see what happens. So there's 4 returning players. This is a partial returning player season. I want to make a note about that real quick as well. And of course, what we're going to do when we start off today, we're going to start off with players who are brand new, and then we're going to finish with the ones we kind of already know. So I want to go over that a little bit. But one thing I do want to note, this is a partial returning player season. Mm-hmm. Now, there's been at least one returning player on Season 8, Season 11, Season 16, Season 20, Season 22, 23, 25, 26, 27, 31, and 34. So this is the first time anybody's been back since 34. 34 was all returnees. 31 was all returnees that were voted back in by the fans. But we also had 31 was all returnees. And then we had on 25, 26, and 27. 27 was half returnees, half new players. It was blood versus water. 26 was fans versus favorites 2, so it was half returnees, half new players. 25, as Jonathan Penner called his third season, the old injured guys season, when they had the guys who three players who got hurt previously, and their season got evacuated from the season and came back to lead teams. Russell Swan, whose swan song wasn't all that of much of a swan song. Jonathan Penner, who had his best finish ever, which was still not that good, and some other guy who we're not going to name. And you know who I'm talking about. For those of you who know the show well, I'm not going to name that individual who may or may not have done some illegal things. So let's move on. And so we'll also talk about 16 was half returnees. It was the first fans were favorites. 20 was all returnees. It was heroes versus villains. I'm expecting 40 to be maybe a heroes versus villains too, because that was a really great season. 11 had 2 returnees. Had Stephanie and Bobby John, and then we had 8 that had all returnees as well. It was the first All-Star season, and then we had 22 and 23, which were 2 returnees each. So those were also with the coach versus Ozzy, and then the Rob versus Russell season. So of all those seasons, right? So of all those seasons that we've had, between 8 and 11, we've had 22, 23, 16, 20, 26, 27, 31, 34, all those seasons. One thing that they all have in common, or most of them have in common, at least one returning player made it to the end in every one of those seasons. 8, obviously all returnees. 16 was dominated by the returnees. 26, same thing. 27, same thing. So the individual ones, right? So 25 had 3 returnees, 1 made it to the end, and that person didn't win. 23, 1 of the returnees made it to the end. And 2 of them were in the final 4. Neither one of them won. 22, 1 returnee. He did win. And then on the rest were just I said just a bunch of multiple players returning and things like that. One thing also that you'll notice, of the 8 of the returning players, more than half of the returning players' seasons were won by women. And if you look at the statistics of the Survivor Series, women win returning player seasons more than anything, and about half of the winners of a Survivor season are on a returning player season. In other words, half the women who've won have won returning player seasons. So statistically saying, a favorite or a returning player is probably gonna get to the end. Same thing happened in 11. Returning players often get to the end on these seasons, and often don't win.
So you're saying the women that have won on returning seasons are returning players, or just in general, women win on returning season players?
Women win on returning player seasons. Okay. If there's a returning player, they win. Now, again, if you look at the stats of the players, of women who've won, compared to women who've played in returning player seasons, the odds are high that a woman will win a returning player season. Maybe not the actual returnee herself or himself, but in this case, more. And if you look at all the seasons that have been won by a woman, most of them, or at least half of them, have had a returnee on them, or at least one returnee. So, So again, it's just a stat. Doesn't really necessarily mean anything, like any stat, but it's something to keep in mind as we look at that. So I'm excited to see what happens with that, and excited to see how we go forward with this. Now, so I do want to go ahead and give a little commentary on the returning players. It's not going to be as bad as Corinne's your brutal cast assessment, but I'm not going to say it's going to be it may be some NSFW stuff here. So feel free, just I'm going to kind of go through this a little bit. Jessica can read through what the players are talking about and what they've said, and she give her take. I'm gonna give my take. You're not gonna be able to stop me from giving my take, so I'm gonna give my take either way. And feel free to comment as well. And at the end, we'll kind of talk about each player, talk about who we think has a good shot, who we don't think has a good shot. I will say this: last season, I kind of ranked them in order of how I thought they were gonna place or who has the best odds of winning. I picked Nick to win. I felt very good about that. I felt good about there was like a group of people who really jumped out to me. I was like, wow, they're gonna be really good. This season,
not so much.
No really jumps out to me. There's not really anybody who's like, wow, they're gonna win this thing. Like, there's a couple people who I'm like, okay, maybe. There's a lot of maybes, not a lot of definite like they got this. So I don't feel nearly as good about that. So maybe that's my way of saying I'm not going to predict a white rate this season. Maybe that's my way of protecting myself.
You're one and done.
Absolutely. But I mean, like I said, I got it right last season. I do not expect to get it right this season. There's nobody who jumps out at all. The stats I just gave out a female winner and a potential returning player getting to the end. Those all are well and good, but we'll see. I really don't know. I would have predicted Game Changers to be a lot different than that was, and that was the last all returning player season. So, long story short, we'll see what happens here. Let's dive in. Let's start with our first person, who I believe is our. Well, go ahead. Why don't you start?
Victoria.
Victoria, yes, that's who.
Okay. So, 23, hometown, current residence, Bronx, New York. She is a waitress. Hobbies: hiking, painting, visual art, and cooking.
Yep.
Pet peeves: interesting. Agree with slow walkers. Leaving cabinet to open, yes. I don't understand why your guinea pig would be a pet peeve and you name it peeve, but okay.
Weird.
And people ask dumb questions. Okay. 3 words to describe her: controlling, ambitious, and witty. Personal claim to fame: she was valedictorian of her college. And she likes to bring it up in conversation as much as possible.
Right.
So that sounds really annoying.
Right. Well, and where does she go to school? You said in the Bronx, right?
Bronx, yes.
Yeah, okay. So she's valedictorian of 3 people. Congratulations. I think she's going to annoy the hell out of everybody.
Yes.
I think, however, now that I know that it's the edge of extinction, she's making people quit on edge of extinction. That may be her strategy. Get them all to walk off.
They're never coming back.
Like, I don't want to deal with that anymore.
Done.
I'm done. Get me out of here. I mean, you can read a little more.
Well, I mean, her inspirational life alone makes her your favorite because her guinea pig scamp is her inspiration.
Not gonna touch that one.
Yeah. Okay.
Not gonna touch that one.
I hate when people. Okay, so 3 things you can bring on an island: notebook and pencil. That is not one item. Those are 2 separate items.
Mm-hmm.
Baby pillow, okay, and a guitar. But the reason for the guitar is really what gets me.
What's that?
No clue how to play, but we'll figure it out while she's on there.
Well, I guess you can play at free time, but then again, in Ponderosa, when you're an early boot, you'll have plenty of other things to keep yourself entertained, I guess. So you won't need to do that. So she likes to play the guitar, but doesn't know how, and annoys people out being valedictorian.
Yes.
Okay. Who she wants to play? Malcolm Freeberg. I wrote that down. She wants to play like Malcolm, right? Her player wants to play like until I say who the hell doesn't. I play like Malcolm. I just wrote down big caps. Annoying.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's gonna be quite the annoying little burned ginger. I see her being the next Patrick Bolton, early boot because she's damn annoying and burning in the sun. So I think his nickname was the Sun God, I think, too, or something stupid. Anyways,
that's ironic.
Yeah. So how do you feel? Yay, nay, or kind of in the middle on this Victoria lady?
Nay. People are gonna get annoyed with her really quickly.
I think so too. I can see her being quite the limited stay. I can see her. Hey, maybe she'll learn to play guitar in Ponderosa when she's there for however long she's going to be there.
Kumbaya around the fire?
Sure, there'll probably be plenty of producers there who know how to play instruments and they can talk to her at Ponderosa. Who's next, honey?
Let's see. Julia Carter.
Julia Carter. Let's talk about Julia.
Alright, 24, lives in Maryland. Mm-hmm. Occupation, medical assistant. Hobbies, traveling, shopping, and eating. Pet peeves, being ignored. Okay. Loud chewing. Yup. And when people document everything on social media. Okay. I mean, that's what social media is for, though.
Sure.
Post everything on there. So
sure.
Whatever. 3 words to describe yourself: adventurous, resilient, and personable. Hopefully, personable is one of them that works on the island.
Right, you hope.
Personal claim to fame. She's the first person to graduate college and pave the way for her young sister.
Okay, that's good. That's admirable.
Yeah. Inspiration in life is her mom. Faced hard challenges, but has remained beautiful inside and out. Kept her optimism intact. That's good.
Okay, yada.
If you have 3 things on the island: pen and paper. Those are 2 separate things.
Right, again.
A radio or something to play music. Okay.
You gonna get signal on that, or
plug that in.
Right.
And picture my family.
Because you're gonna forget what they look like after 39 freaking days. Okay, got it. Let's talk about who she wants to play. She wants to play like Jeremy. Now, I believe she didn't write down a last name for Jeremy. She just wrote down Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Now, it could be Jeremy from last season who got voted out third and then violated his contract and got sued.
He's not a physical
Could be that one.
Could be that one.
Could be that one. I'm thinking it's probably the Jeremy Collins who won. So that's fine. And again, a lot of people want to play Jeremy because Jeremy played a damn near flawless game. That being said, I get a bit of an Allie Elliott vibe from her from season 35, who had a lot of potential. A lot of people's winner pick, but went out early. Also, I kind of see her as a bit of a Laurel. Laurel from 36. I think she can know how to make the move, know that the move is there, know that she should make the move, and then just never make the move. I can see her doing that too. So I don't know. How do you feel about Julia?
I don't know. You're comparing her to Laurel. It makes me like her more because I like Laurel.
I did too. She was my winner pick.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I don't know. I get a better vibe from her, I guess.
I see. I think she has a lot of upside. I really do. I think she could do really well. I don't see her going out too early. But like I said, Ellie went out, kind of got swapped, screwed a little bit, went out early. Laurel ended up being a goat at the end, getting no votes. So it's hard to say. It's hard to say who's going to do what. I will say this. I think she has. I think she's more of a plus than a minus.
They're slim pickings
but
right now.
It is, and if she has a good social game, that's going to be really a big perk for her.
Yes.
Next, I believe it's
next is Mr. Ron Clark.
Ronald Weasley Clark.
Hey.
He's no Sophie Clark.
He's
all right.
not Ronald Weasley either.
Okay, go ahead.
46, lives in Atlanta, and his occupation, he owns his own Ron Clark Teaching Academy.
That's awesome. I believe he used to live in North Carolina. Did his trailer lose its wheel and just roll backwards, or what? All right, go ahead.
Hobbies. Life doesn't get any better than giving my Chow Chow pups belly rubs. I love dogs, so I don't, whatever you have to say about that.
Go ahead.
Watching a roulette ball spin. All right.
He's got a gambling addiction. He likes puppies. Got it. Okay.
Sounds like it.
Okay.
Not a lot here. Nothing really that jumps out though.
Put it this way, he's not.
He likes to tell stories.
He's not going to be the best Clark to win the game. He's not going to be the best Clark to ever play. Sophie Clark's better. All right. He wants to play like. He wants to play like who? He wants to play like Spencer.
It's funny how his pet peeve is that he's a sore loser. Because why would you want your pet peeve to be about yourself that you're a sore loser?
I think maybe a narcissist. Maybe.
I guess. Yeah.
I mean, he's got a teaching school named after himself. Come on. He teaches people how to be like him. He's a freaking narcissist. Okay.
Wait, 3 words to describe you. One of them is mean girl. So that gives any indication of how he's going to act.
Okay. So he's a super fan. I definitely would say that he's talking about how he's seen every season, or at least started the early season, maybe drifted away for a while and came back. But he talked about Spencer. Spencer hasn't played since 31. Played again in 20, or played 28 and 31. So it's been a little while since Spencer played. So he's obviously seen a few seasons, not just the most recent ones. And I think that's a good pull for him. I think that's kind of he's an older Spencer. I mean, Spencer was 22, 23 when he first went out there. So it's not he's definitely an older version, an older model. But I think I think it's not bad for him. I think it's not a bad pick for him to play like. And if he can get there, I think that's good. I think the problem with Spencer's game, and me, from the couch, of course, can tell you what every player ever did wrong. But Spencer, it really came out in his second season that he was very egotistical. People didn't really relate to him because he was just kind of talk down to people and egotistical, talk down to people and kind of.
That makes sense why he picked him then.
Exactly. So I think that could be a problem. I think that could be a problem for him. Spencer, played a good game. It was very strategic, but was kind of robotic. And I don't think people can really relate to that. And they don't want to give money to the robot. They want to give money to the person who's real. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I have him. How do you have him? Do you have him doing well? Not too well?
I don't know. I've been judging everybody though based on their picks on the island, and he did actually pick 3 individual items. They wouldn't really work. But, I mean, a recording device that eventually that would just die anyways. Returning player, which you're going to have 4 there anyways.
Take your pick.
And wedding ring, so, okay, that's fine.
Wedding ring, I think you're going to have that too. Because, I mean, you can't wear your wedding ring. That's dumb.
Yeah.
I think I have him doing okay. I don't know if he's going to win. I don't really know if he's the winner upside, but he definitely got...
It doesn't seem too bad.
He's definitely, I think he's going to be okay. I mean, I don't see him going out too early.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Alrighty, let's see here. Next is Ream daily.
That sounds painful.
Getting reamed daily.
Getting reamed daily sounds horrible. Oh, good Lord.
She is 46, lives in Ashburn, Virginia, and her occupation is sales. Hobbies: chess, kickball, and neighborhood security. So neighborhood watch. Cool.
All right.
Pet peeves: intolerance, humming, bad manners, nose picking, gross, slackers, and snobs. Okay.
What did you say? Huh?
No, it's
Sorry,
like going
I
knuckle
got
deep
you.
up
I got
there.
you.
That's gross.
I got you.
Yeah. 3 words to describe you: inquisitive, tenacious, and energetic. Personal claim to fame: her kids. Okay, cute. Inspiration in life is her mom.
And no explanation for that, just mom. Okay, cool. What is mom special? Did she do something?
Mom is special for everybody.
All right. Anyways, she wants to play like Stephanie and Rudy. Those are it's very strange combination. Rudy Bosch, love him. Stephanie LaGrossa, married to a baseball player, great. I don't see really the combination how that works. It's like, I mean, Stephanie was underdog, played 3 times, whatever, did well 2 of the 3 times. Then you got Rudy, who played twice, and he was just he was the fan favorite early in the first season. But other than that, I just don't see a combination how that is. How I don't see Stephanie plus Rudy equals anything. Mm-hmm. So I don't see how this lady is a combination of the two, but I don't have her going too far anyways.
No,
so.
I don't see her going that far. I do it's a bucket list dream, so
sure.
Good for her. Glad she's finally on it.
Get out there and do it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And do it. I see her as kind of like the Natalie from last season. I kind of see her that way.
No, Natalie was way worse.
Nobody's Natalie, but I feel like she's kind of more in that line than anything else.
Yeah, I guess in that realm, but nobody's Natalie. She's no.
Anyway, moving on.
And she picked clothes basically for her 3 things to bring: hat, hoodie, and pants. I mean, you're gonna have clothes, but I guess specific things. Sure.
I guess you might as well. Whatever. I mean, they don't always give them to you right away, so I guess, and you have to submit your wardrobe to them before you go on the island. So I guess
last season was rainy a lot, so that makes more sense.
All right, fair enough.
All right, next Dan,
Mr.
the war dog, DeSilvia, 38, lives in L.A. Law student and former military. Hobbies: gym, basketball, and Netflix binging. Okay. Pet peeves: weakness, negative energy, and the person who complains constantly.
Welcome to Survivor.
The world never breaks their way. 3 words to describe you: confident, self-amused, and passionate.
Self-amused?
Guess he laughs at his own jokes like you do.
He's amused by himself? He's amused by... Okay, good. Continue.
He laughs at himself like you do.
Himself plays amused. Okay, go ahead.
Inspiration in life: young men and women who joined the army after the war began. Yeah, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
3 things on the island he would like to bring: nail clippers, football, and chessboard. Okay, well, all right. Keep you occupied. Stay clean.
I guess.
And you are the knowledge of who they want to be most like.
Yeah, so he goes by the nickname War Dog, which makes me think of Maryland Mad Dog Hershey, which makes me think of season 2 early boot. But he also looks like Joe from 35. Your favorite, my winner pick from that season.
Go Ben.
But I also wrote down, I think he's kind of a combination of Joe and Ben. I think he's got the military stuff of Ben, got the combination, got the kind of the personality and the look of Joe, which makes him a freaking huge threat, which is not a good thing. But he says he wants to not play like Tony. You kind of look like him, so it's gonna be tough. Not play like Philip, which again, who wants to play like Philip? That's like saying I want to play like the worst player. Not play Boston Rob. Okay, great. He wants to play like a combination of Yule, JT, Mike Holloway, Earl, Parvati, and Tyson. So he's playing like 6 winners. Combination of 6 different winners. Some of those popular players, some of the best players, some of the most dominant players of all time. All right, well, if you can do that, good for you. I mean, the one thing I will say, he did say that he is, I mean, he's clearly a fan of the show. I mean, you can tell. You don't drop a name of somebody from season 14, somebody from season 20, somebody from season, 34, somebody from season 30, somebody from season, 27, 16, 15, you don't drop those names, somebody from season 13, you don't drop those names and not, just not know the show. So he definitely knows the show. That's definitely a good thing. And the only thing I wrote down here is he said he is
He says he brings a certain sex appeal that men his age haven't brought in a while.
Well, as a straight guy, how do I answer this? Let's say he's the least good looking in the last several seasons. He's not like he's a dreamboat. He's no Ken McNichol. He's no Nick Majorano. Okay.
Chris, the model from a couple.
Oh jeez, the noble one. He's no noble one.
The actual model.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't know
He's good looking for his age.
Okay, cool.
He's almost 40, and he doesn't really look 40. So
okay, so he's definitely.
Props to that. He's in shape.
Definitely ripped. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
military,
He's
so-
definitely ripped. I mean, I think he kind of looks like Joe. Kind of looks like Tony. I mean, I don't know if he's saying Joe
Joe
and
wasn't
Tony.
ripped though.
No, Joe was short and bald.
Short
but,
and yeah.
but I guess he's better looking than them. I guess, but I mean, whatever. So I don't see that. Speaking of sex appeal, though, let's talk about Rick.
Rick Devens, the morning news anchor from Georgia. Hobbies: basketball, hiking, playing with the kids and dogs, and video games.
Looks like a gamer.
Yeah. Pet peeves: not taking ownership of actions, over explainers, waiting in line, and people not using coasters. Okay.
Yeah, use a coaster on the island there, buddy.
3 words to describe you: funny, compassionate, and loyal. Right? Personal claim to fame: his kids. But get this story. One time, there's a cat stuck very high up in a tree for days, and it could have died. But instead, he did a news story and contacted folks, and he got the cat rescued. That is his claim to fame.
Do you want a cookie
Yes.
or a medal?
I actually do want a cookie.
Okay, good for you. I don't know why he told this story. Like, okay, cool. You saved a cat from a tree. Oh, you a firefighter? Like, I don't care.
Yeah. His personal inspiration lamp is his father. He's totally focused and dedicated. West Point grad and airborne Army Ranger. Awesome.
His dad, not him.
Yes, his dad.
Okay, his dad's cooler than him. Why is his dad not on the show? His dad should be on the show, not him. Okay, go ahead.
His shout outs are Stephen King and Stephen Colbert.
I like one of the two.
And funny.
I like one of the two. Alright, he wants to play like John Cochran, which again, every nerdy guy wants to play John Cochran. John Cochran, the most successful nerdy guy. Everybody who's somewhat nerdy dude wants to play
Sorry,
Cochran.
Christian. Poor Christian.
Christian, yeah, Christian wanted to play like Fishback, which I appreciate that more. Because everybody wants to play like Cochran. But just because Cochran's famous and well known, and he did a lot after the show too. But I like Cochran. I'm glad he won a season, but whatever. Everyone wants to play Cochran. It's like Cochran's like the Parvati to dudes. So let's move on from Rick.
Alrighty. Let's see.
By the way, as far as Dan, I had Dan as a plus. I think Dan's gonna do pretty well. Rick. Rick, I don't know. It's tough to say. I had him as a neutral. I really can't say the way.
Yeah, I think he could go either way. He could be really good or not good. I mean, he was that. Oh gosh, I'm not gonna remember his name. He was one of the super fans from at least 2 years ago. He went out relatively early. Bushy.
Oh,
hair.
Jacob Derwin.
Jacob, yeah.
Yeah.
He kind of reminds me of Jacob a little bit.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a mirror from Manhattan, I guess you could say. I guess with this one, Rick, he does remind me of the I don't know if you remember the Amazing Race season when the news reporter and the news anchor went out and or the weatherman, whatever, they were dating and they went out in the show and they kind of finished like second or third in like every leg of the race. And they won the last leg and won the race.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of reminds me of that guy a little bit. So I don't know if that's anything, but I guess when we do our Amazing Race preview, we'll talk more about that.
Oh, good. Rick did also want to bring a book on the island, which makes sense. I like that.
Yeah,
you have a lot of time to read.
Exactly,
so.
and it's again, especially in Ponderosa. Go ahead.
Wendy Diaz, age 25, lives in Bell, California. She's a small business owner, whatever business that is.
Didn't say.
Hobbies: swimming, rock climbing, anything active, karaoke, and getting into shenanigans. Pet peeves: I cannot stand when people don't carry their weight. I also hate quitters. Find a way to get something done. Don't just give up when the going gets tough.
Welcome, Survivor.
Yeah. 3 words to describe you: idiosyncratic, fun-loving, and
you know big words. Isn't that sweet? Good for you.
Personal claim to fame is starting her own business from the ground up. Inspiration in life: my mom. She worked hard and raised 3 daughters all by herself. And if you could have 3 things on the island: hair ties. All right.
Just one. You'll get one.
Scruffy. Yeah, I know one. Now you can't bring multiple. They say 3 items. Stuffed animal named Scruffy, and a small jar of Vaseline because her lips get dry. All right,
Vaseline. Yeah, that's what it's used for. Gotcha. All right. She wants to play like Sandra because she would be the second Diaz to win. I guess that qualifies you to win. I guess you have the similar last names as the previous winner. Okay.
That means you're the same person.
Yep, same person. Same. Yeah, Sandra's maybe the greatest of all time. You are. Who? Blue-haired person. Okay. And Tai Trang because everybody loves Tai, except he didn't win either. Okay, good. Moving on.
Let's see.
We're moving on to the half a man.
Eric, half a man.
Yes, he's only half a man. So his wife said.
34, Livermore, California. Occupation firefighter. Hobbies.
Oh boy, things like that, JP.
Backpacking, basketball, woodworking, and pretty much anything outdoor.
Cool.
So you're going to be outside for a while, so that's good.
Good for you.
Pet peeve is people taking themselves too seriously. Okay. 3 words describe you: enthusiastic, outgoing, and spontaneous. Personal claim to fame: extremely proud of his profession. There's a lot of hard work to become a firefighter.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. They do work hard.
They do, absolutely.
Inspiration in life is his older son, Levi. He was diagnosed with on the autism spectrum disorder a couple months before he turned 2. So that's pretty great. That's a really good inspiration.
Definitely.
3 things on the island: a picture of his family, a book, most likely the Bible, and a surfboard. Okay.
All right. So again, pretty common thing. Something that really jumped out at me. He did say he wanted to. He was a religious guy. He says he's 99% of the time he's not the smartest or the coolest. I could say 100% of the time he's definitely not the coolest. As far I'm talking about the half a man.
Sorry.
He wanted to play like Tony Vlachos again. He wants to play with the Greek god. I mean, Tony Vlachos was. I mean, here's the thing, right? Kim is maybe the greatest winner of all time. Sandra's maybe the greatest winner of all time. But Tony had the greatest game of all time because Tony had the edit that everybody wants. Tony was the key part of every episode. You know, his edit was he did everything. He was the star of that season. So if you're gonna win, you want to win like Tony did. But as far as greatest player of all time, Tony is definitely a great player. Not maybe the greatest player of all time, but he certainly had the greatest winner edit of all time, for sure. So again, you want to play like Tony? Sure, I'm all for that because Tony was one of the best.
All right, next, Aurora McCreary, 32, lives in Orlando, Florida, and is a divorce lawyer.
Yeah.
Ouch. Hobbies: rock climbing, adventure racing, and brunch. Ooh, brunch down in Florida is actually pretty great. I can agree with that. Pet peeves: know-it-alls.
What, me? All right.
Ignorance, playing the victim card, any noise coming from the mouth and easily offended, slow walkers, and people who are homophobic.
Okay.
3 words to describe you: direct, ruthless, and athletic. Personal claim to fame: having my mom tell me she's proud of who I became before she died. They did not always get along. What is your inspiration in life? Her brother Shane. They both went into foster care, taken away from their biological mothers. Shane would leave her side and always protected her. 3 things on the island: gum. I have an addiction and I don't chew, I chomp, which will really annoy a lot of people on the island.
Wonderful.
Sunglasses so she can hide her facial reactions because she rolls her eyes constantly. And,
I like some else I know.
Yeah. Earplugs so she can block out other people so it drives her crazy.
Great social game you're telling me.
Yes.
Awesome. She reminds me a lot of Alicia Holden, which is not in the least bit a good thing. Alicia was kind of a popular player in some ways, but she just kind of seems like one of those players who just is going to say what's on her mind. And is just gonna, especially if there's like a big alpha male on our team, I think she's just gonna annoy that person to no end. So I see that being an issue. Possible early boot or possible deep run. I can see either one. I think she's very. This is my, Rourke Luskin. This is my high variance player for sure.
I could see her making it closer to the end than being middle boot, but.
I mean, I think my high variance player last season. It was either Natalia or Angelina. Yeah, so I don't remember either way, but those high variance players often don't win because they usually are more the lower end. I thought Rourke, again, 35, thought she could have had a deep run. Again, kind of got screwed a little, and just things
took Angela to the end because they knew she would win. So
right, exactly, yeah. So I mean, it's tough to say. I could see her being going deep. I did like how she wrote that she's basically a badass. She didn't write basically a badass. But I just saw Drew Christie immediately. So basically, I'm a badass.
That's what she put. I thought.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, she said she's basically a badass. I'm like, okay, Drew Christie, relax. And she said she want to play Tyson and Sierra. 2-3-time players. Tyson won the season, so I guess that's good. Sierra is again a poster child for the big moves era. And her last time out, they just chopped her off right away because she was. They were sick of being told to make big moves. I don't know. This one's tough for me. I don't know. She's definitely said a very high variance. I can see her doing really well, doing really poorly. I can see her winning. I can see her going out first. I'd say it's more likely to go out first than win. But also I can see her. But I don't see her necessarily going pre-jury because she seems like she's decent in challenges. Won't be.
She's a divorce lawyer, so she can see how people manipulate each other, like she said, and she's definitely kind of judge people.
And she's definitely lippy. She definitely is one of those things where she, will say what's on her mind. That's my concern with her a little bit too, and also I would say that I think her skills as the lawyer and all that will help her, but also I think it could be a detriment because I think that she's just gonna. I don't think she's gonna want to just listen.
She's gonna want to control things. It's kind of like Natalie.
Yeah.
How Natalie just stood there and wanted to tell people what to do, but didn't really do anything.
Right. So I can see that. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I really don't know what to say about this one. I would say probably not great, but it wouldn't surprise me either way.
All right, Lauren O'Connell, 21, from Waco, Texas, occupation student at Baylor University. Hobbies.
She kind of looks like Katie Hansen too, by the way. Katie Hansen from season 25. She kind of has the mannerisms too, but just reminds me of Katie Hansen. That was, or some people like to call her Jeff Probst's personal punching bag of season 25 because he just loved picking on Katie. Go ahead, continue.
Hobbies: binge watching multiple Netflix series at once, sleeping through my alarm. Oh, I can relate. And eating a party-sized peanut M&M's bag in one sitting. People are pet peeves. People who are intolerant of someone else's personal opinions and beliefs, unnecessary rudeness, and those misguided people who choose Twizzlers over red vines. Same thing. 3 words to describe you: competitive, committed, and compassionate. What is your personal claim to fame? Her claim to fame is resilience and grit. Okay, through my physically demanding career as a collegiate athlete at Baylor women's soccer team. It's not really a career if it's just college to me, but okay. She has endured 4 orthopedic surgeries, rehabilitated physically and emotionally in order to remain an integral part of the elite team. Inspiration is her parents. They love passionately each other, their family, and their friends. If you could have 3 things on the island: her Bible, sunscreen, and M&M's.
So she's definitely an athlete. She comes across that way. She seems a little bit naive to me. I think one thing I will say is she seems like she's okay in challenges, and that's great. But athletes don't necessarily do great on the show. No. Look at Crystal Cox.
Just because you're athletic doesn't. The puzzle is the equalizer for everything.
The puzzle, the carnival game, all that stuff. So you can be good at challenges, and if there's a really physical dude that you're going against who's like a bodybuilder, a soccer player from Baylor, no offense, is not going to keep up. It's just not going to happen. But again, I mean, she seems like she's in college, could be smart, could be good at puzzles. Who knows? I don't see her doing amazingly well, but at the same time, I don't see a reason to get rid of her early either, especially if she has a benefit in the challenges. But it's going to depend on a lot of factors for sure.
I mean, her pick on who she's most like doesn't surprise me, and I haven't watched the show that much, and I've seen videos of who her pick is, and it doesn't seem surprising to me.
Yeah, Parvati and Parvati for sure, and then Kelly Wentworth, which you want to play Kelly Wentworth? Go sit across the room and find out what she's like, because you're playing with her.
Maybe they'll be on the same team.
Could be. Moving on to, I believe it's Julie Rosenberg. Is that correct?
Julie Rosenberg, yes.
Yes. The toy maker from Baltimore is 46. Toy maker.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think it was an Etsy thing. She has an Etsy shop.
Okay.
I believe. I don't know.
That sounds right. She was one. I wrote down. She's one of those parents who just like thinks her kid, all her kids, just freaking piss lightning.
Yes, because her claim to fame is raising her 2 kids who impress her every day with their intelligence, strength, and humor.
Wonderful. You like your kids. Cool. Good for you.
Her 3 words that describe her: underestimated, determined, and maybe a little neurotic. She says, "Okay, I'm definitely neurotic."
Yeah.
Pet peeves: hoarders, which one of my favorite shows. People who invade my personal space and anything that's floral scented.
What is that? People invade your what?
Personal space.
Oh, okay.
Alright. And you said her claim to fame is her children.
Yep.
Her inspiration in life is her husband.
Aww.
And if you could have 3 things on the island, okay. Her iPhone. Where are you going to plug it in when it runs out? You're done then. A picture of her husband, kids, and 2 Bernese mountain dogs. I would want a picture of my dogs too. And chocolate milk, which is going to spoil in the sun.
Oh, for sure.
Cool.
So, and she wants to, here's the thing. She wants to play like Stephanie and Suri and Dawn. Now, Suri, again, one of the greatest of all time, the greatest player to never win, no questions asked. Stephanie, again, all right, a lot of people want to play like Stephanie, that's fine. She's great. Dawn, cries a lot, which I guess that's kind of why she said it, and that's maybe it's you'd play like maybe I don't know. But Dawn, Dawn had her moments. She could have done better, but she was just too. She wasn't emotionally strong enough for the game, and that way, and people couldn't take her seriously. I would say if you want to, I would say the best quote unquote Dawn is Holly Hoffman, the ho ho. Holly Hoffman, ho ho. Holly was one who wasn't mentally ready to play the game. She wasn't emotionally ready to play the game. She had a nervous breakdown early in the season. Started destroying people's property, started going nuts, and then by the end of it, was the leader and was the. I mean, in my opinion, the star of the show. And if she would have made it to the final 3 or final 3, she would have my vote for sure. I think she should have. I think she was the best of the final 4. I think she was the best player left after the journey that she had going from complete wackadoodle to potentially a winner. And God, I'd love to see her play again because she was really awesome. But anyways, Julie Rosenberg, I just don't see it for her. I don't see it. I don't know. Maybe she
get a good read on a lot of them, but yeah, she's average.
Maybe she'll be a Christie. Maybe she'll be a Christie who will annoy people, but maybe gets to the end and pulls off something. Who knows?
You wanted Christie to win, so.
Well, just because of her way she controlled the game, but I mean, she was definitely irking people. I could see how she didn't have the best social game. But I mean, who knows? I think she could. Maybe she'll do something crazy. Surprise us and pull off a win.
All right, Keith Sowell, 19, from Durham, North Carolina. Occupation: pre-med student.
At this point, every season has to have a teenager, so I guess he's it.
Hobbies: writing and performing my poetry, tennis, playing video and board games, and going to the movies.
If you're a pre-med student who wants to play sports, it's tennis. Go ahead.
Pet peeves: when self-absorbed people talk about all the money they have and things they've done and only actively engage in conversations when the topic is about them or their equals. Okay. 3 words to describe you: religious, competitive, and creative. Personal claim to fame: he once got the Jackie Robinson Scholarship. And inspiration is definitely his mom and grandma. Without them, there's no way I would have been the type of person I am today.
Or existed, technically.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. 3 things on the island: his Bible, poetry book because his poetry gives him life, and his Black Panther jacket because he's a Marvel fanatic.
There you go. I think he's got the he's a Blue Devil, Duke Blue Devil. So that's shout out to him, I guess. He wants to play Jeremy Collins again. Everyone wants to play Jeremy Collins. He's one of the best. So that's a good pick, I guess. As good as anybody. Next. I believe it was Chris Underwood.
Yes, sir. Chris Underwood. 25, lives in Greenville, South Carolina. He was a district sales manager. Hobbies: surfing, sailing, camping, and anything outdoors. Yet again, you're going to be outdoors a lot, so all that stuff works. Pet peeves: laziness, political Facebook posts, yes. People who are all talk and no walk. 3 words to describe you: personable, hustler, and intuitive. Personal claim to fame: his career went from being a barista to managing a solar company, blah, blah, blah. What is your inspiration in life? People have taught me to get back up when I'm knocked down. What 3 things can you bring to the island? A surfboard, yes. Right. A skillet, because you're going to have so much food to cook on the island in this skillet.
Can you cook rice on a skillet?
You can cook rice in a skillet, but you don't need to.
Right.
And scuba gear with a spear gun, which are 2 separate things, and scuba gear is about 5 pieces. So
at least.
It's not 3 things, but I digress.
You digress. And who do you want to play that? Did you say? I don't remember.
Malcolm.
Oh, Malcolm.
And Rob.
Malcolm and Rob. And Spencer and Ozzy. Right, so Rob. He didn't specify which Rob. I'm assuming Boston Rob, not one of the other 17 Robs who have played. Spencer, Ozzy, not anything to do with each other. Malcolm is the better Ozzy, so just say Malcolm. You don't see me say Ozzy because it's like Ozzy is not as good as Malcolm, so just say Malcolm. Rob, okay, because you're nothing like him, but it's fine. And Spencer, sure. Okay, whatever.
Well, the one thing that strikes me is, why do you think you'll survive Survivor?
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense. Well, he said he most likely will be doing all the cooking because, everybody eats so much on Survivor. I know he loves to cook, but nobody eats on Survivor. Everybody loses weight, so you're not going to be doing that much cooking on the show. I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Hey, guess what? Being a provider doesn't mean shit. It doesn't.
Not unless you can go get some fish.
If you could really, even if you do, put it this way, Ozzy is one of the greatest providers of all time. Guess how many times he won the game?
None.
He played 4 times. Dude can't win. Why? Because he's too busy freaking fishing when everyone else is making bonds and strategic moves.
So it's either you eat or make bonds is basically
you either catch fish and cook fish and talk to the fish and get voted out, or you eat the fish and make bonds and strategic moves and win the game.
So that's why everybody loses weight. Nobody wants to go get fish. That's the problem.
Well, you're not going to win. It's just not. That's not how it works.
All right, moving on. Gavin Whitson, biography: age 23. He lives in Irwin, Tennessee. Occupation: YMCA program director. Hobbies: going to Disney World. I'd like that as a hobby.
That's cool.
Binge watching The Office. My favorite: eating Texas Roadhouse fried pickles. And he says, I might need to rethink my life based on my hobbies. Pet peeves, yes. Holding the door for someone and they don't say thank you, yes. People who vape. People asking me if I'm still in high school. Slow texters. Other people touching the radio in my car. And parents yelling at their kids in youth sporting events. 3 words to describe you: sarcastic, hungry, and a dreamer. Personal fame to claim. 5 years ago, he asked a girl out and she said no, and then a year later, he asked her out again and she said yes, and they're engaged, and they are actually now married, that we saw in the preview.
Yeah, they got married 2 days before he came out on the island. It's exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Inspiration is mom and dad. If you could have 3 things on the island, yet again, an Xbox is only going to last you, and it won't because you need a TV to go with the Xbox, technically.
Right.
A mirror, because he's got to make sure he's looking sharp for everybody at home. And mint chocolate chip ice cream, which yet again will melt and spoil.
Right, he said he's a catch, so he said that's why he gotta look good because he's a catch.
But okay.
He says he wants to play like Keith Nall, and I am as big of a Nall Mal as anybody, so I'm with you on that one. And then let's play like Joey Anglin. Mel, good luck because he'll probably be in a tribe. So, all right. And I think that's it for the newbies.
That is it for the newbies.
So let's go to the aforementioned Joe Anglin, because I have so much to say. This is going to be fun.
I didn't know Captain Hook was going to be on this season.
Yeah. Well, what do you think was...
the mustache needs to go. Or just get rid of the twirl. You don't need the twirl. What's with that?
Put it this way. If you're going to vote out something, vote out the mustache.
Okay. Can the man bun, can that be a package deal?
Absolutely. But I'm going to get to that. We really don't need to go too much about these returning players. Most of you guys know who they are. I'm going to go over and talk about Joe for a minute here, because I have so much to say about Joe. Joe is, I liked him in his first season. I kind of liked him in the second season. 3 words to describe him, he said, were adorable, adventurous, and able. I wanted to add, how about Anglin, alliteration, amazing. Any other A words you can think of?
Alliteration is not an A, but that's okay, honey.
Okay, so there you go. So, A words. Which one of us is the writer? Okay, awesome. So moving on.
Wait, he wants a GoPro as one of his items. Not that there's going to be cameras all
Yeah, there's no
over
cameras.
anyways.
This is Survivor. There's no cameras. So season 30 and 31, he was on. Obviously, he played back to back. He got voted in the fan vote. He was after season 31. He was known as Joey Amazing. Kind of after season 32, he's known as Joey Amazing. After season 31, he was known as Joey Amazing, and then after I saw who he was dating, he went from Joey Amazing to Joey Meh. He talked about it, of course, because he's now living in Utah with his wonderful girlfriend, fan favorite, Sierra Dawn Thomas. They were even promoting how, hey, she voted him out. Now they're together. Awesome. I guess it's
True love.
Yeah, sure.
True love.
I guess it's better than when he was dating Wiggles. I guess.
Wiggles? What?
Yeah, when he was dating Kelly Wigglesworth, I guess it's better
Oh.
that he's dating Sierra because I guess. I don't know. Horrible. Ridiculous. Terrible. Yuck. Joe. Here's the thing. Joe needs a Redemption Island type season to win the game. And potentially this is what will do it for him. Potentially this is maybe what he needs. But Joe is one of those people who's just too good at the game. He's a Malcolm. Malcolm could potentially win someday. But Joe is just one of those things. He's good at everything. He's overtly good at everything. He's good at every challenge. He's good socially. He's good. He's got some strategic chops. He's just too good at the game. You can't let that guy get anywhere to the end. You can't take him deep. You can't. He's got to go out. You got to get rid of him because he's too good at the game. So I don't see it. I don't see Joe winning. I don't see him ever winning. But who knows? Anything can happen.
Just don't take him deep.
Just don't take him deep. I wouldn't pick him to win, but then again, who knows? He's he is Joey Amazing after all, or in this case, Joey Meh. All right, moving on to Aubrey Bracco.
Okay.
Aubrey Bracco.
This is not a vacation. Survivor's not a vacation.
Survivor ain't fun. Going on a cruise is fun. Going fishing is fun. Going play golf is fun.
Should I read about her or?
We know about her. She played season 32 and 34. I like Aubrey. Aubrey had the first episode, episode 1 of her first season. She was hyperventilating in the shelter because she was freaking out about freaking out. She was having a panic attack and was afraid she was going to get pulled from the game. Okay, from that moment on, she has been a solid, very good. Could have won her season. Some say she should have won her season. I'm in the maybe. I could go either way. I like both players who were in that season. Aubrey maybe should have won. I don't know. Her second season, she was on the outs the whole time. Got all the way to 5th place. If that's her downside, that's a great downside. If her worst game is 5th place, it's tough. I feel like Aubrey's due for a bad game. I mean, she went second, and then went 5th. I feel like a 17th place finish is kind of what is naturally next. I mean, you talk about you usually have one or maybe 2 good seasons before you have a really bad one, like Suri. So I don't know. I mean, maybe last season was that bad season. She gutted her way to 5th. Didn't seem like she had much of a shot to win. But maybe this is it for her. Maybe this is her winning moment. Maybe this is her winning game. I can see it. She hasn't showed us anything other than success. But I'm fearful because I feel like she's due for a bad game.
Okay.
And then next is
Your
Wentworth.
Fave.
Kelly Wentworth. Nothing to say in her bio really. She just pandered to the fans. Another one I wish didn't come back. As much as I like Kelly Wentworth, her season 29, she just was not even on the show really. And then she voted back on somehow on 31 and shocked the world. Had an amazing season. Was one of the top players that season. Was one of the highlights of that season. Fan favorite for sure, and fell just short. And I think it's one of those things where it's like I wish Sandra didn't come back. Sandra played 34. Sandra was still arguably one of the greatest players of all time, and she came back for an extra shot at it. and it just didn't happen. She fell short, and she kind of, tarnished her legacy a little bit. I still think the game she played that season was amazing, but I think she kind of tarnished her legacy. I kind of feel like that's what Kelly's gonna do. I mean, it's gonna be really tough for her to win. People now know of her. Season 31, nobody knew who she was. So the fact that she snuck through and nobody really paid her any mind, well, that's why, because nobody knew who she was. That's not happening anymore. She's a full-fledged, big-time Survivor player now. And it's gonna be tough for her to navigate through it. That being said, she got a good social game. She can, she's not bad at challenges, things like that. So maybe she'll work her way through it. But again, I'm fearful for her. I think that she should have. I would have liked, personally, if it was me. It's hard to say no to Survivor. It's hard to say no to getting the shot to play. I really would want. Who wouldn't want a chance to play, especially if you get called again. Why not go out for a second shot? But the way I see it is my story. If my story as a Survivor player ended how hers ended, I could live with that. I could live with being a fan favorite who's the Rob Goddess type of position.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I really have to say about that. I'd love to see her do well. I think a lot of these players are going to struggle just because their last seasons were so good. They were such big characters. It's hard for them to repeat that.
Yeah.
And finally, last but not least, the Family Guy writer himself.
David Wright.
The David Wright, not the baseball player.
The writer. No.
Wright the writer, not the baseball player.
No.
The actual writer.
Mm-hmm.
The inspiration to Stewie Griffin. I'd say he looks like Stewie Griffin is basically written to look like David Wright.
Yeah, somewhat.
I mean, a little weird shaped head, but I'm Stewie, not David Wright. David's great. Again, huge fan. He's I wrote down his what do you say, his
inspiration?
No, not his inspiration. His
which is Mr. Spock.
Mr. Spock is his.
I like that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I wrote down somewhere here about his not his motivation. His 3 words to describe him. What were they?
Oh, OCD, nervous, and paranoid.
That's it. Yeah, that's David. That's David in a nutshell. He's definitely all 3 of those things in spades.
He played most like David Wright, the bald nerd that just needs a hug.
Yeah, that's pretty much who he played like the first time. Again, David, he's one of the ones who maybe could do it again, get really far and do what he did the first time. I'm interested to see how this whole captains thing works. Obviously there's 4 captains, and I saw it was only 2 tribes, so maybe 2 captains for each team. A male and female captain, I'm guessing. Mm-hmm. So I would guess it would be David and Wentworth, and Aubrey and Joe would be my guess, just because it seems like the personalities are opposites. Mm-hmm. So that'd probably be how they put them together. I don't know. Just a guess. But I don't know. I feel like David is unassuming enough still. But you can't sleep on David Wright. He's legit. I'd love to see him do well. It's again, these 4 players returning. I think they're all in kind of weird spots. They're all kind of in the spots where they just had a good season, and now they're coming back for a chance for another good season. It's really hard to do that twice. It's really hard to have that type of season twice. And usually you do worse your second season, unless you did really bad the first season, then maybe you'll do better, but they usually don't bring those people back. So we'll see. So that's it. That's all the cast. That's everybody's going to be that season. Real quick here as we wrap up here. We got to get a winner pick. We got to see who we think is going to do it. I have very little faith in pretty much anybody. So I feel like most are going to do terrible. I think it's going to be 19 pre-emerge boots and 1 winner. So I don't think that's going to be possible. But
nobody wins.
Nobody wins.
Season's over. Everybody go home.
Everybody go home. You all suck. God, I don't know. I'm looking at my notes here. I just it's tough. I have to pick one. Mm-hmm. Do you want to go first? Do you have any in your mind?
No, I want you to go first.
You want me to go first?
Yes, I do.
Oh, Lord.
I'm very torn.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I want to pick someone that's played already. I'm gravitating to David Wright a little bit, or Aubrey, but you said Aubrey is probably done.
But again, she's smart. She can navigate through it. It's tough. Here's what I'm going to say.
Yes.
There's one person who stands out to me a little bit.
Julia?
No. One person, though, I think has a little bit of everything. My only concern is going to be targeted for being a physical threat and maybe be a little bit too arrogant.
You're going for the Joe guy, right?
I'm going for...
Dan.
I'm going for Eric Halfman.
Oh, Eric Kaufman. Oh.
That's what I'm going with. I don't know. I'd love to see again. I would be happy with, most of the people winning. I want to see more from them. I want to see who they really are and what they bring to the table. But that's.
I like that pick. I kind of want it. I was kind of seeing him too, but I don't know. I'm really torn on him.
The only concern is, like I said, the stats I gave about returning players. I mean, season 11, Bobby John and Stephanie came back. Stephanie was in the finals. 22, Russell came back. Rob was in the finals. Rob won. 23, Coach and Ozzy came back. Coach was in the finals and lost. Obviously, we got 25. We had Scoopin, or I should say, he should not be named, in the finals and lost. And then we had. So the thing is, a lot of times it's the returning players who get to the end and lose. In these when there's a couple players right back. Obviously, when it's an all-star season, it's different, or half favorites, half fans type thing. It's different. The issue is those players played games that they just weren't very likable. They played games that they got carried the end. It was weird games. I feel like if any of these four get to the end, they got a great shot. Mm-hmm. That's my thing. So it's hard to root against or to bet against a returning player. That being said, I see them all having a difficult road, but also saying if any of them get to the end, they probably win. So it's such a tough thing to do. I can see this being a fan. I can see this being a fans versus favorites where the returning players just dominate and everybody else is like, what just happened?
Right.
So I can see that too. It's going to be so tough. I think the best thing for the four returners to do is stick together as far as they can. Yeah. Because if they start targeting each other, it's going to be like Game Changers where the best players all target each other. Get taken out, and then we're left with some scrubs at the end, and it's kind of whatever. Nothing against any of those players. That's I guess that's what I'm doing. I guess I'm going with Halfman. What do you?
Halfman. I don't like choosing this early.
Right.
But you're making me do that this
time.
Well,
you said you picked Ben at the merge, right?
I did.
You picked Wendell at the merge.
Yeah, kind of. I was kind of gravitated towards him earlier.
Earlier than that, yeah.
But I locked it down.
And then you were definitely Team Christian last year.
Yeah, I was Team Christian. I didn't mind Nick, but Christian was my favorite.
For sure. So
I don't know. I feel like I want to pick a girl. I usually pick guys.
Me too. I want to pick a girl this time too, but just nothing will be pop for me.
I know. Well, Aurora kind of does, but I feel like with her attitude might not go a long way. See, I think I go towards Julia. I think Julia, because compared her to Laurel, I really liked Laurel. She seems like she could be pretty personable and get along with people, but like you said, it just depends if she makes any moves or not. I think she'll get along with people really well, so that's my winner pick. That's
a good pick. She was up there too. I mean, I'd say I had it, top couple. It's tough when there's returning players in the mix, but yeah, she definitely. If I had a couple, I was leaning towards. But yeah, I'll go with Halfman. You go with Julia. Sounds good to me. So I think that's
boys
good.
Versus girls.
Yeah, and I said I definitely see the stats are in your favor more than mine.
Cool. Don't let me down, Julia.
And they were recording this now. The season's already on. We're not watching it yet, so
either one of them could have got knocked out tonight.
They could have been Medevac hour 1, minute 1, season 1. So or episode 1. So. Yeah, like the Cusack last year. Mm-hmm. So I think that's it for now. I want to just go ahead and wrap up with a couple things. Obviously, be sure to subscribe. Don't miss our stuff. I'll try to reach out to you guys best I can, but definitely subscribe. You don't want to miss any of these things. I promise they all won't be this long. We had a lot to cover in a short amount of time today.
Though.
What I always say, my favorite saying, long story short, but not really all that short. Yeah. So that's it. I think that's just we'll leave it there. Subscribe. Definitely, keep up with us. We'll be doing recaps every episode. This one's gonna be a little delayed, obviously, because this one was delayed coming out. So I'm thinking probably Friday. We're gonna try to do them every Thursday or so, but this will probably be on Friday for the first episode for the premiere. It might be a little bit longer premiere, so we'll want to see kind of what's all up with that. Other than that, I think that's pretty much all we got. Again, don't miss anything we do, so definitely subscribe. Email us at pavementroadproductions@gmail.com. Follow me on Twitter at YoGrabAGabba. Follow Jessica on Twitter at
JustT820.
Follow, go to our Facebook page and check us out there. Comment, all the things. We want to hear from you. We want to hear what you like. If you have a hot take, you want to get on the show, we're definitely open to having you on the show. So let us know what you like. Let us know what you think. Other than that, we're excited for a great season, and hope you're with us the whole way. I got nothing else for you because the tribe has spoken. Have a good night.
Bye.